So as I'm sure you all figured out, I really haven't cared for the past several episodes, or 2 or 3 or whatever. And to be perfectly honest, this episode was a really nice return to form. It did what I've finally been waiting for in all this. It brought everything much more to a smaller climax and actually challenges Yugioh as a character, as well as the whole ideals of the situation and the sadness of the situation. First up, where does it start? Yugioh's in the fusion dimension. First up, what I love is that we immediately see the destruction caused by everything. Everything looked fine in the pendulum dimension, and then when we got to the Xyz dimension, it just looked like it always did. But when you get here and you see all the blown up and everything around it and how that actually does shock Yugioh, it is actually a nice, really powerful little moment. And then we go in, we see Sora's fine, Alexis is fine, Shun is fine, Dr. Akaba is fine, but just because they're physically fine doesn't mean the simple end to it. This isn't simply everyone can smile again. No, there's a real serious dramatic situation here, and that is what happens to Ruri. You see, it's very easy in an anime like this with such a big, crazy situation going on to forget about the little factors. I'm glad that Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 really decided to go into that with this episode. Shun's entire motivation from day one has been to save his sister. But the thing is that you can't save her. Like, that's the reality of it, is that it goes so much bigger than their brother and sister thing. Because, again, she's part of Rei. And we also get the context of what happened to the other boys and the other girls. They're all gone. All that is left is Yugioh. And the simple line of saying that Yugioh was the prime, or he had the main sort of thing of Zark's personality, explains so much. It explains why he got the pendulums, why he got Odd Eye's dragon, and it explains why the demon thing looked like Yugioh. I'm not saying I agree with that decision to make the demon thing look like that, but at least they gave an explanation I can buy. And on top of that, I like seeing how angry Shun is. It would have been so easy to just have everyone just accept everything, but no, he's not going to let his sister go. And again, that emotional thing is what's kept me going in this show the whole time, and they brought it right back to it. Then we get in and we see Dr. Akaba, and he's still trying to get Rei back, and maybe he's got something, maybe he doesn't. We'll find out. But again, I love that when Shun finds the situation out, there's this disbelief in him. Like, how could anyone believe this? This is a really crazy situation, and they take full advantage of that here. And then we move on to the duel, which I really actually did like. I was expecting it to be another boring filler one like the dentist duel last week, but I really did get into it. I love that we got our music back, like the really good score pieces were in this episode. And again, it's about a much more emotional situation. You can have these smaller stakes going on. You can have it that the universe probably won't die if things stay on the well, but you need this sort of smaller emotional plot to get us through. How is Shun going to save his sister? Is there any way to save her? We don't know these things. But again, the episode took time to address them, and I appreciate that. Now, if I were to pick some flaws, well, I'd say one thing that kind of got on my nerves was, okay, maybe not get on my nerves, was that I love how Alexis is just back to accepting Dr. Akaba. It's not like you were fighting against him and his evil ways 5 minutes ago, but whatever. The other thing was that I felt like Shun's desire to duel Yugioh kind of came out of nowhere. I love how when Yugioh demanded to duel Shun in the first place, Shun's just like, nah. He does not care at all. But then the second duel, it was just sort of like, my best friend and my sister are gone, let's waste time with children's card games. But I did enjoy the duel. The rank 12 Xyz was fun. It wasn't a particularly long duel, but what turns did happen I thought were really fun. And hey, we got to see the two best Odd Eyes cards, Unicorn and Light Phoenix. Okay, granted, they're good because of Sky Iris, and Sky Iris isn't in this for some reason, but hell, I'll take it. So all in all, I really enjoyed this episode and thought it was a nice return to form. I know this is a little bit shorter than normal, but honestly, I'm okay with going a little bit shorter if it means I feel like the content was really there. And even the whole idea of what could happen next week between Yugioh and Jack's kind of interesting. It sounds like Jack might promote the question of, what do you do now? And I really think that could be interesting, so we'll see where that goes next week. So, but what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on that. And as for the TCG question of the week, YCS Atlanta happened, and Pure Zoo took pretty much the majority of Top Cut. Now, yeah, Paleozoic Frogs won, but Paleozoic Frogs is kind of a good meta check, this format. But again, like, the zoo dominance is here, and it seems to be getting a little more streamlined. Not as many variants as we saw at YCS Seattle last week or the week before. But what do you think about that? Tell me below. And as always, click to like and click subscribe, and we'll see where this goes next week.